Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, happy Friday. Today is a happy day. Bitcoin is looking like it wants to push higher. After breaking, I should say shattering its previous high. So, let's look at this next milestone in sight. When is it going to come? And what's driving things higher? And since today is Friday, let's have a good Q&A. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, we had a pretty eventful day, couple of days. We went from 108 to 111, then went up. Now we are at 117.5 last night. Asia definitely was buying. Asia usually sells off while North America buys, but Asia decided to FOMO in as well. So yet last night we saw Bitcoin push higher all the way to nearly 119,000. Even after my stream last night, did a live stream last night. We pulled back down a little bit. 117.5, as you can see, lower. I mean, these lower time frame indicators are extremely overbought. So we may be pulling down a little bit, but a lot of momentum right now. Today, a great example of that is XRP. XRP is up almost 6%, nearing 270, and the other alts are also following as well. ETH is barely under 3,000 and SUI's above 350. So the momentum is definitely back in full force. That's what we want. That's what we've been waiting for a long time, it seems like. And this is coming on a day where the U.S. market is not looking so good. We may have a red day. For most of this week, it's been green. But the crypto-related stocks, MicroStrategy up, Circle up, no surprise. Coinbase down slightly, but that may turn. But what's why is it red today? Well, we got more tariff stuff. Honestly, I don't know if this is the reason, or it could just be some profit taking, but there's going to be a blanket tariff. And Canada's going to be slapped with a 35% tariff. But despite all that coming in a couple weeks, August 1st, this is headline news. This is what people care about right now. Bitcoin topping 118,000, forming a new high, nearly 119,000. Institutions, companies have been pouring in billions upon billions of dollars into the space, buying up Bitcoin or ETFs. Yesterday, look at this. Look at this. Yesterday, we had a 1.175 billion inflow. A lot of people talk about how OTC market will never dry up. There will be times it dries up. There's just not enough. Yesterday, I believe, was one of those times. Same thing at night. BlackRock took in nearly 500 million, and then you add everyone else, 1.1, let's just round up 1.2 billion. Imagine going forward, it's 1.2 billion every single day. It could even go up to 1.5, 2 billion a day. Where is that Bitcoin going to come from? There's only so much out there. This is why I say don't ignore these. Don't ignore these figures. Don't ignore all the things I've been showing you guys about buying. It's going to add up. There's only so many to go around. It's not like anything else. This is not like cash that could always be printed. What exists is what exists for Bitcoin. You can't generate more. The miners are only finding 450 a day. These guys are buying tens of thousands a day. What do you think is going to happen? And because of Bitcoin's new market cap, it is now one of the biggest assets on the planet at number 6. It's above silver now, once again. In previous times it was, but now think about it. Market cap of Bitcoin is bigger than the market cap of silver. And silver has been around basically just as long as gold. And that's the first step. It's above Google, Meta, and many others like TSMC, Berkshire, Tesla, JP Morgan, Walmart. Some of the biggest companies on the planet. Only Amazon really close. And then you got Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia first company ever to hit 4 trillion. And then of course the big daddy of them all is gold at 22 trillion. That's still 10x. That means Bitcoin needs to go to 1.2 million, 1.1, 1.2 million to equal the market cap of gold. So if you think it's too hard, it's not going to happen, just think about where gold is. And there's always more gold being produced, and the supply is virtually unlimited at this point, even though I know there's a set limit on the planet, but we're nowhere close of digging out all the gold from the planet. But Bitcoin, we know for sure there's only so little left that everyone is fighting for, and demand is only increasing. So getting up to that 1 million point to equal the market cap gold, it's going to come. Not this cycle, but most likely in the next cycle. By 2030, we'll probably see Bitcoin at $1 million. As far-fetched as that sounds. So even having one Bitcoin can make you a millionaire. So just think about that. It's not too late to accumulate, even where it is now. Charles Hoskinson, the leader of Cardano, says Bitcoin will hit 250K. No problem. No problem at all. He mentions 2 bills in the US that is driving things forward. You got the Clarity Bill and the Genius Bill. And they both should be getting some house time soon. It was supposed to happen this week, but I guess not this week, maybe next week. If either one or both passes, they would be absolutely tremendous for Bitcoin and crypto all around. And this 250K mark, we're inching closer and closer and closer. We just have to double from here. Bitcoin moves very quickly, and unexpectedly all the time. We got some more buying here. The smarter web company purchased 275 Bitcoin, now has 1275. And you got Remixpoint out of Japan that just purchased 116. Now they hold 1,168. Their new target is 3,000. So you could see the buying continues all around. And of course, Saylor is probably going to announce a new buy soon, next week. He already holds about 3% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist. And as you can see, those green dots have really accelerated. Before it was like, yeah, once every few months. Now it's like once every week. And the purchases are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop, guys. Now, because of our recent move, we had over 1 billion shorts get liquidated. Okay, that was kind of expected. I was showing you guys the liquidation levels over here. And we shattered through a lot of levels. If you look at last 24 hours, I mean, look at all this. We went up. We shattered through a lot of walls. Okay, so over 1 billion liquidated. Part of that is what drove us up, you know, having this short squeeze. So now if we zoom in a little bit, this is what it's looking like. So we got 2 levels, up and down, right? If we have more weakness and we want to get rid of some longs, when I say we, it's really the market makers. If they want to get some longs, we could probably go down. And because Bitcoin has come up so much and we're in overbought territory, I could see Bitcoin going down to about 116.8, maybe a little bit lower, 116.5, maybe even wick down to 115 and clear out all these longs. I could definitely see that because we do see market makers do that all the time. They go both ways. But right now with the momentum, we could also do the opposite and continue on, like screw TA, and we continue forward, and then that means, and I already called this the 120. So we got this 119.1, 119.4, and then you got a little bit more levels of basically all the way over here, 121, and we would liquidate a hell of a lot more shorts. People have been, I'm sure, adding to their margins, trying to move up their liquidation level. So we'll see what happens. If we continue to go sideways or maybe move down a little bit, and then we continue upwards tonight and into this weekend with lower volume, we could certainly push into the 120s this week. And then when I do my Sunday walk, we may be at like $121,000. It's looking good. And you know what else is looking good is this. You know, I've shown this many times, the global M2 money supply and how the money has been going up and Bitcoin tends to follow it. And you can see with this recent movement, it's starting to catch up. And if it keeps on going, the next stop should be, you see that giant vertical pump, it should be pushing Bitcoin towards 130, 140,000. So this 120 is definitely not, it's not even where the next level is, I believe. It's just a temporary stopgap until we truly hit that next level. And then we may consolidate there for a little bit until we get to the top. But I think a lot of people already said this next level that we stabilize at is somewhere between 130 to 150,000. There are a lot of these charts that are showing exactly that, like this one. You could see many times Bitcoin consolidates, may break below a certain level, and then we recover back, and then we form a new leg, and then we get to a new level. This is indicating somewhere between 130 something to 150 something. And we are moving our way up, just like the previous times when we went sideways for a long time and then we started moving. Here's another one that shows Bitcoin has broken out of this bullish pennant and it's heading higher. And this last one, this is a longer time frame view, compares Bitcoin's movement to gold and how times gold leads while Bitcoin is down, and then Bitcoin recovers greatly and surpasses it. And again, if I'm reading this correctly, this is showing that Bitcoin's going to go above around 140 to 150,000. So that's the next true level. Right now, we're definitely inching towards that. We're getting closer and closer and closer. And, you know, it's not just with Bitcoin. Like today I mentioned, XRP is doing really good, up over 6%. Any particular reason? Not really. Not really. Brad Garlinghouse is making some moves in Washington. But outside of that, you know what? ETF speculation, spot ETF coming. Same thing with Solana. There are a lot of ETFs pending and approval may be coming soon. Yeah, good all around. Good all around. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's see. U.S. market is getting a little bit worse. But you still got like MicroStrategy doing really well. The others are starting to pull down. Circle's pulling down. Coinbase still holding. Unfortunately today, is a red day in the US. If today was a green day, man, that combined with Bitcoin's movement or momentum, we would definitely push into 120s. But we may be taking a slight breather, but we'll see. The day is young. The day is very, very young. All right. Man. XRP still pushing higher. 273, up 7% now. Definitely a lot of people buying XRP at this point, or FOMOing in. It's 4-hour RSI is at 90. So if you have some longs open, you may want to close them or close partially. All right. Robinhood barely down. Coinbase down a little bit. Circle. Man, Circle moves like a meme stock. It could go up 1 second, the next second it just dumps down. All right, let's do some Q&A. A lot of people are doing ADA. ADA is up 18%. What is going on with ADA? I need to put that back on my chart there. Dogecoin is up 11%. I mean, basically everything's up. Here, let's add in my watch list again. I removed ADA, but let's add it back. Up 10% according to It's good. It's good to see. And by the way, a lot of you guys are following alts, following patterns and signals, and you're like trading. If you do like trading and like alts, you got to follow Crypto Pulse. Right? We got a lot of these calls, and a lot of them have been correct. So make sure you follow Crypto Pulse if you want to get potential leads on breakouts and some of these patterns and other things. So follow Crypto Pulse. Man, even as overbought as XRP and ADA is, it looks like they don't want to stop. Like ADA is at 92, 93 RSI on the 4-hour. That we haven't seen that since March. Remember this? When ADA touched 119, look at that vertical jump. It is as overbought now on the 4-hour as that. So, probably a good time to close your longs right now. Just to be safe. But I don't know. It looks like the momentum might carry us into this weekend, and we may go higher. Dimitri, you're welcome. That's an interesting portfolio. Man, people need to stop FOMOing. It's making me want to FOMO. Some of these stocks are starting to turn green. Hood just touched green a little bit. I'm waiting for Coinbase to turn green. Wall Street's going to come to their senses. People are trading. People are getting excited about Bitcoin again. So where are they go buy their crypto from? Coinbase, obviously, and Robinhood. Both of these should be turning green today. How's the DCA portfolio looking? Well, I actually DCA'd yesterday, last night. But let's take a look. If you go to CryptosRUs.com and go to the dashboard here, refresh, up 90, close to 99%. Pretty good. The fear and greed index showing we're only at 67. We're not even at 100% or in the deep green for greed. But as you can see today, pretty much everything is in green with a few exceptions. But everything is really, 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 really green. I mean, I have a couple of lists here. You look at US-based crypto, everything's up. Algorand is up 18%. Hedera's up 16%. Cardano's leading the way, almost 20%. Memes, not that great. It's good, but not that great. People are still sticking with the legit ones like Say. I covered them yesterday, up 25% today. Wow. People are loading up on the good stuff, the ones that's been oversold for very, 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 very long. Robin, you're welcome. Bitcoin is still, Bitcoin wants to come back. I should add Say back. I actually DCA'd a little bit of Say yesterday. Reza, can you give me some insight on profit taking? There's no right or wrong way to do it. You know, just make sure you have enough cash on the side. I recommend 25-30% cash on the side, dry powder. So if you feel like your portfolio is going up and your cash pile is diminishing, the percentage is diminishing, then take some off at the table and just keep it steady like that. That way you kind of force yourself to take profits. Or you just don't and just be all in all the time. If you have good income, I mean, some people have asked me this in one of the Ask George segments. Someone asked me, why should I take any profits? Because I make good money. I don't need to sell. Why don't I just keep loading in there? I mean, you could. You could just keep it forever, especially with something like Bitcoin. Because you always run a risk when you sell off and it just keeps on going upwards. So it just really depends. If you have a steady income, steady money coming in all the time and you don't need to use your crypto at all, you can make the argument where you just leave everything in there. But for everyone else, and it could be smarter to take some off the top in case we dip down. That way you could buy more at discounted prices. What is your stablecoin choice? Yeah, it's USDT at this point. Almost everyone uses USDT, so. Nice. Coinbase turned green. You see that? That's a good sign. Coinbase and Hood both turning green is very, very good. That means Wall Street is like, okay, we need a FOMO in. We need a FOMO in now. That means they're going to push probably Bitcoin even higher. There's going to be a lot more ETF buying. That means the momentum is still here. Even Tesla turned green now. Maybe the entire market is turning around. There's really no need to be bearish. Thoughts on Alchemy Pay and ties to XRP? I don't know how it's tied to XRP. Alchemy Pay is a fiat on-ramp. It's been around for a long time. There are a lot of other choices now. It used to be kind of like the only choice. Now there are a lot more. Look at it. Look at this. Bitcoin does not want to stop. XRP does not want to stop. ADA coming back does not want to stop. ETH is coming back. Oh man, we may be hitting to that 120 sooner than expected. Exclusive video asks, would you consider holding XRP long term or sell some at top? I would still consider selling some at top. Again, it depends on your situation. If you don't have any cash on the side, you don't have any, build up that cash pile. Get up to 20-25% just in case. You don't know. You know, we may have a dip, we may have a shakeout, especially when there's too many longs. We may have a big shakeout. Then you'll be able to take advantage. Or if you want decent long term, you got to make sure you got to have cash on the side to do that. So taking profits is important, but you know, we don't really know where top is. We can make guesses, you know, based on previous cycles. The top is somewhere between November, December this year. However, if this turns out to be one of those super cycles that everyone keeps talking about, and we don't have crypto winter, and we just keep on going, then there's no top. Chris says, how far can 0.55 Bitcoin take me? Well, based on this, I think Bitcoin will catch up to gold by next cycle. So by 2029, 2030, Bitcoin should be at equal market cap as gold's market cap, assuming gold doesn't keep going up. Now, if gold keeps going up, the market cap of gold will get a lot bigger, but right now it's at 22, it's stuck under 23 trillion. If Bitcoin catches up to it, that means it'll reach over 1.1 million, 1.2 million each. Remember, there's a lot less Bitcoin than there is gold. So 0.55 Bitcoin will still get you in like 600,000, 700,000 by next cycle. That's how far it could take you. But, you know, that's just the beginning. Just because Bitcoin catches up to gold doesn't mean that it's just going to stay there. Many people argue Bitcoin will continue to go higher because Bitcoin's a lot more scarce, a lot more useful. It's a technology, it's a ledger, it's also a store of value. So it's a lot more useful, and that's why it's worth more, and Bitcoin could continue going. Saylor believes Bitcoin's going to go to 13 million each at some point. Do we know who is buying Bitcoin? It's not Saylor right now. You don't know. When Saylor buys, he tells you after the fact. Maybe he's buying now. He'll announce it on Saturday. But what we do know is ETF inflows is crazy. Yesterday was one of the best days ever at close to 1.2 billion. So it's not just Saylor. Of course, Saylor and BlackRock, they're the two big daddies, but there are like hundreds, if not thousands of companies buying these Bitcoin ETFs, and they don't always announce it. Not everyone is so eager to announce their buys. All right, finally both are taking a little breather here. Anytime people want to see where my DC account is, just go to CryptosRUs.com and click on the dashboard. More people need to start utilizing this website. I got everything here for you guys, man. Everything here. Hey, Tom. Dan Papas asked, George, when you're on Unix, how long do you normally leave a trade open? Do you wait for a certain percentage gain, or everything is different. You know, generally speaking, I like to roll in when I'm over 10%. So if something's up 10%, I close it and roll in that profit. But you know, sometimes overnight it could go higher. Sometimes I just leave it because I feel like it's gonna keep on going. Sometimes I just close it because I'm trying taking like some short-term profit. Just want to, you know, make a few $1,000s and close it. So it depends. In a bull market, when things are hot, like right now, it's very easy to make money. Very easy. But when it's choppy and we get all these shakeouts, it's tough to make money on leverage. So what can the market cap of Cockinu go to? I hope they could get back to their previous high. They're really, really down. There's a lot of other memes now on the AVAX. So I hope they get back to where they were. Will I consider 0.5 Bitcoin for my Cybertruck? No, because that would be like half. I would give it to you for 1 Bitcoin. No, that's more than that. Like probably like 0.8 or something. 0.8 Bitcoin. How will you celebrate when Bitcoin hits 150K? I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything different. Maybe buy another car, though that would not be wise. Yeah, Coinbase is now starting to catch fire. Same deal with Hood. MicroStrategy is still on fire. Look at that big jump today. John, Thank you. Enjoy. Anything new in the Lego collection? I have every single set. You guys should see it. Any cool sets that come out, I just buy. I have so many unopened sets. They're just sitting there looking good. Eventually, we will get to them. But right now, kind of sitting idle. I just bought a hot tub. Been enjoying that for the last couple days. There's still some landscape work that needs to be finished, but having a hot tub is cool. I don't have the pyramids of Giza set. I don't really collect the architectural sets. I collect all the cool like idea sets. Like any of the new modular buildings, like the Mario Karts or the new Simpsons burger stand, like stuff like that I think are cool. I don't collect a lot of Technic sets or the architectural sets. Quentin, it depends on how long you dedicate your time to it. If you like do a couple hours every day, it'll probably take you, 3 or 4 days. But if you're only spending like 30 minutes a day, it could take you a whole week. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, right? The best when you're building is just like throw on some music and then just like relax and lose yourself in a set. It's kind of like how most people do it. Those super huge sets could take a couple weeks or even longer. They have ones that's like 8,000 plus pieces. Those could take a lot longer. I realized I never changed my camera view. Do I believe the capital gains tax removal will pass? I actually think there's a really good chance of that. I think Trump and administration is going to push very hard for it. And I actually think it'll be like a mix. It's not like no capital gains tax. I think it's going to be no capital gains tax on transactions. So that's different. That's different than, okay, if you're just selling and you're taking the cash versus you're buying something with it. Like you buy a house or a car with it. It's going to force people to actually buy things. So I think it's going to be that, which is not bad. Eventually, those of you guys that are looking to buy a house or, buy an island or a yacht or business with your crypto, then you don't have to worry about the capital gains tax. I think it's going to pass. What price do you think Bitcoin will correct at? Right now, I would not be surprised. Bitcoin is very overbought. Based on the liquidation levels, I would not be surprised if we have like a mini dip back to 115 to clear out a lot of longs. It could happen. But with so much buying, we may just push into the 120s right away. Spiley Trader, wasn't this pump caused by ETH? No, not by a long shot. ETH does not lead anything. Dude, those Coliseum sets are worth a lot of money. I never bought that and I regret it. Now I think they're like going for $700, $800. Those Coliseum sets. I would love to get one. Would you buy Epstein's Island for a great price? Did you guys know? I don't know why it's not more talked about. You know, all this talk about Epstein list and not being released, and people are very angry that Trump is like dismissing it. But you know, Epstein's book, his notebook, his clientele list, and all the names it's been online for years. Now I'm starting to see it. So it's already out. So I don't know what's this, and it's not redacted. You could see every single name, and there's like thousands of names in there. So I don't know why like that's not being talked about. Like his personal notebook was scanned and uploaded online, and you can find it pretty easily. So I don't know why people aren't just looking at that and waiting for some official list to come out. Do I think my DCA account could hit 200K by end of the cycle? I do think so. I do think this DCA account could. $39K to 200K. That's assuming that we get altcoin season. Okay. If we don't get altcoin season, then probably not. Maybe 100K. But if we get a good altcoin season, it's going to be 200K plus. Revo Craft says they want the flight logs. That's the list they want. But, you know, like you have all these celebrities on this notebook list. Why do you think it's in there? It's not because they're friends and he just writes it. If they're friends, you just put in their contact in your phone. You don't put in your personal notebook. So whoever's in there, you know, most likely it's been to the island. A lot of Hollywood actors on that list. A lot. More than you think. And then musicians. If you guys have seen the list, you'll know there's a lot of people on there. Man, we are holding incredibly well. I honestly thought that today we would, like right now, we would correct down because we've come up so much. But Wall Street's appetite is tremendous, and they're buying a lot. I guarantee you they're buying a lot. That's why they're keeping the momentum going. But honestly, we should correct down a little bit. Oh man, Robinhood's above a 101. I've been telling you guys about Robinhood. Some of you guys listen, but man, since April till now, from $30 to 101, it's more than 200% since April. And Coinbase recently has been skyrocketing as well. Johnny, you're welcome. I know you're a long-time watcher. Glad you're still here. What do people want me to play?
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
I don't know how that started playing. That footage should have been locked down. You know, the funny thing is that video is from 2017, 2018. It's been 8 years. I think she's going to look very different now. Oh, I heard a joke recently that was very, very funny. But I forgot what it was. It was really funny. Um, Dang it. I'll just go share it. This is a really good joke. There's only been one joke that's been like stuck in my head forever since I was like a teenager. All the other jokes I tend to forget. Greg, it's a jacuzzi. No, I know this joke, but I told it before, so I don't want to keep telling it. People have heard me say it. But it's a pretty funny joke. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know if I should say it because people have heard me say it before and then it's not funny. Oh, sorry, I was distracted. All right, I'm going to tell a joke and end the stream. It's the best joke ever. And everyone will love it, including the women. So you got 3 guys that want to join the FBI. And, you know, so they go to the FBI and they're told, okay, we're going to interview you guys, but, you know, let's do it at this private setting. So they get invited to this house and they're told to bring their spouses along, their wives. So as soon as they get there, you know, they're seated in a room, and then they tell the first guy to come into the interview room. And then he's like, okay. And then they ask him, like, hey, why do you want to join the FBI? And then he's like, you know what? It's something that I've always wanted to do. I think it's really cool, and I want to protect. And then the agent's like, okay, it sounds good, but can you prove yourself? And the guy's like, yes, of course. And the agent's like, okay, here's a gun. We need to know that you're loyal and you can follow the instructions. So behind me, there's a door. We already placed their wife in there. We need you to go in there and shoot her. And the guy was horrified. He's like, what? What kind of test is this? No, I'm not doing that. And he leaves. So then they do this test with the second guy. And the second guy's like, no, I can't do that. She's my best friend. No, what are you guys doing? This job's not worth it. He leaves. Third guy, an older guy comes in. They tell him to do this. He grabs the gun. He doesn't say anything. He grabs the gun and goes into the other door. And then you hear nothing for a while. Then you hear all this screaming. And then he comes back. He's covered in blood. He sits down. The agent is horrified. The agent's like, what the hell happened in that room? And then he's like, well, it's kind of your fault. You gave me a gun full of blanks, so I had to beat her to death. Oh, man. That's the joke. And I will never tell that joke again. All right, guys, on that note, let's conclude this stream. Bitcoin is pushing higher. So this weekend will be interesting. Stay strong, my friends. Continue to DCA. Think about taking some profits if you're in the green. And look forward to my videos this week. Another Ask George is coming tomorrow. I got a lot of questions this week, but make sure you submit your own on the website, Ask George. And also look forward to my Sunday walk video. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.